Hello, I'm Sherantha Perera. My UOB ID is 2113770. Today, I'm going to talk about the scenario planning on solar energy coming under renewable energy industry. Before moving on to the discussion, our journey goes through the following outlines. First, I'm going to give a brief introduction about the renewable energy industry, then the key trends, followed up by the two-dimensional grid, the four scenarios, and finally the plausible scenario. Talking about a little bit on the background, clean energy or green energy, which are naturally and constantly replenished, are known as renewable energy. Solar energy is a type of energy source which are produced from sunlight. Solar energy in Sri Lanka plays an important role towards the energy industry in the country. Here in Sri Lanka, we can find solar energy is used in the following sectors: residential, which is B2C, commercial, which is B2B, and industrial, which can be B2B or B2G. Like every energy segment, solar energy has its key trends. Contribution towards the renewable energy industry, we can see that the demand for PV installations have increased significantly throughout the last decade. Sri Lanka's economy has been gradually increasing over the last several years, with annual GDP growth averaging 4.5% from the 2013 to 2017. Sri Lanka has also implemented the PV installation to the business model, where the program aims to boosting the clean power generation through net metering, net accounting, and micro solar power producer schemes to connect rooftop solar PV installations to the network. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are major trends in the technological era, which are almost involved in many subjects. Luckily, solar energy industry has introduced to use AI and MI in forecasting and using algorithm results as inputs to the solar industry. Compared to smart persistent method, machine learning models have outperformed the smart persistent method, which results by putting the AI and MI aspects in the solar industry as a trend. Another important trend in the solar energy industry here in Sri Lanka is the cost, which is coming under the economic factors. As a third world country, economically, the solar energy industry aims to focus to generate electricity by converting the customers' rooftops into solar power plants, which is a major economical green project. By doing so, the foreign exchange spent on fossil fuels and oils will be remained in the country, thus uplifting the economic growth in the market. Another major aspect is the cost is for the maintenance, services, and research. As we all know, for every product there needs to be maintenance and service to avoid being destroyed and mainly to stay in the competitive market. Research also plays a role to provide the improvements in all aspects when it comes to the solar trend. All this results in cost, which shows a major uncertainty. The next slide will show an insight on the trends. Here you can find the inclined growth of the market condition on net metering scheme and the prediction for the year of 2030. In this slide, we talk about the two-dimensional grid and the four scenarios. Among the key trends, I have selected technology and cost as the most uncertainties in the solar energy industry. Therefore, technology and cost will be assigned as the two dimensions in the two-dimensional grid. The scenario grid contains four quadrants. One quadrant is where a scenario will take place when the cost is high along with the technological frustration. This scenario can be taken place whenever the energy generation is not match to the energy consumption. Also, the solar-related technological equipments are not upgraded, which requires more maintenance, and the maintenance cost is high compared to new technological paths. To survive in the market, expenses needs to be handled, and sometimes due to the lack of generation, the industry will not take any income or any profit from the generation. This will make an impact to the energy market where the competitors will take over and the race towards the market share will lose. This scenario is named as the crisis on the economical street. Another scenario which may take place when the industry has fallen but moving towards the success. As an industry where there can be ups and downs which will impact the industry on the market. These situations are uncertain depending on the cost and the technological factors. Whenever such crisis occurs and somehow the industry manages to overcome the problem with the solution, that moment onwards the industry will generate revenue and will start to make profit. In a scenario where the survive in the market, expenses must be made and new technological equipment needs to be introduced in order to highlight among other competitors. In such event, the game changer scenario will take place. Rarely, a scenario might occur when the industry has reached rock bottom. No technological improvements, no surviving power, and no profits whatsoever. In such case, the industry has reached a critical stage where there may be two options to take. Either change the industrial strategy, vision, and mission, or else look into an alternative route. Among every competitor in the industry, this scenario will be a nightmare and will result in major turnovers or disappear from the industry. It is very unlikely to face this scenario unless the management has not done its part. Unlike other scenarios mentioned, It's All Solar takes the high road with all the two important key trends balanced. Whenever the expenses are less and the technology empowerment has skyrocketed, then this scenario will be reached by the industry. With the help of AI and MI, these scenarios can be achieved. Even though moving at this phase, it is possible to take an unexpected U-turn, but with better planning and management, this scenario will be the most plausible scenario. Among the mentioned scenarios, there are many uncertainties which can occur, and among these uncertainties, the most plausible scenario would be the scenario It's All Solar, where the technology is empowered and the cost is low. This scenario would be most likely to occur once the energy sector is well established among the energy market. The country's economic status is highly impacted and this sector, but keeping aside where the economy is well maintained, the solar energy segment will survive. Advancing with the technological factors, more energy is generated with the latest technology-enabled solar cells, which results in more revenue and profit to the energy industry, which will benefit to the country's economy as well. Each technological advancement is an expense, but when considering the income is higher than the expenses, this will be an efficient and reasonable and most importantly probable among all the scenarios. Here you can find the references that were used for the presentation, and it is also available in the presentation notes. As per the plausible scenario discussed, it is highly possible with the help of the technological empowerment and the cost factors, well balanced and well maintained, the solar energy industry will produce more cleaner energy, reduction in environmental pollution, higher income towards the economy, and much more, and will be beneficial to all the factors which drives the energy industry forward. Thank you.